go. It is November the 4th, 2018. I really planned on just not making any videos, staying away from all types of social media this month. But I had to just make a video here real quick on the Bucks, because I tell you what, I don't know what needs to be done. I don't have the answers, right? I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I've got the answers. You know, a lot of people like to come on here like, oh, this is what we got to do, X, Y, Z, whatever. I'm not going to tell you that. What I'm going to tell you is that Jameis Winston wasn't the quarterback today. He wasn't the quarterback. Now, yeah, Fitzpatrick kind of got it together, right? And we've seen this. It seems like, I don't know, it seems like every week now this is what we're seeing, right? Where we get off to the slow start, the defense looks horrible, the offense looks horrible, and then they just like switch uniforms at halftime, and all of a sudden the defense wakes up and the offense decides that they're going to come to life. Ryan Fitzpatrick looked pathetic in the specifically first quarter. He looked pathetic. Completely overthrowing guys, right? That interception on the second drive that led to the Carolina touchdown, right, to put them up by 2 scores. That was a horrible pass. Like, that was just absolutely horrible. Now, I'm not defending Jameis Winston. That's not my point. But I found it to be very interesting that even Ron Rivera, the opposing coach, comes out and says that it seems like for some reason when Ryan Fitzpatrick is in there, the offensive line plays a little bit harder, the running backs play a little bit harder, the wide receivers run a little bit faster trying to catch up to the ball. And I don't know what it is. But I don't know if maybe the rest of the team hasn't kind of given up somewhat on Jameis Winston, and maybe that's part of the problem. I've talked about Dirk Cutter, right, and how I feel like he's given up on Jameis Winston. And I think that the team, my gut feeling is that the team has kind of piggybacked off of the coach and said, well, if the coach doesn't have any faith in Jameis Winston, then I don't have any faith in Jameis Winston. And that is my problem with Dirk Cutter right now, is that no matter what, you got to make sure that you can't convey that to the team, right? With your body language, you're the head coach, right? You're running the show now. You can't allow them to pick up on that, the sense that you got to figure out a way that you can hide those emotions. And if I just, as somebody who's watching a press conference, can pick up on that vibe, then I'm sure that the players who see him on a daily basis can pick up on that vibe. I don't really have a problem with Fitzpatrick, right? I'm a Jameis fan. But this problem right now with this team is bigger than the quarterback. And if you don't see that, well, I'm not going to call you a name here, but come on. This is way bigger than who's playing quarterback. I've talked about this. Like, I could talk about this till I'm blue in the face, that the quarterback position is a position that is so hard to compare from one team to the other, right? Now, I remember hearing Cowboy fans tell me how Dak Prescott was the man his first year. His rookie year was like, oh, this guy is the man. Same thing with other quarterbacks. I look at Deshaun Watson, right? I look at this guy out in Texas, and he looked great in his rookie year, gets hurt. I'm watching him this year looking really just not so good. The rest of the team was not playing so good. The rest of the team gets their act together, and miraculously, this dude starts to look better. The quarterback position is it's a tough position to judge because there's so many variables that are going on around you. But I'm frustrated right now. I really am. I don't know what needs to be done. But I'm not one of those guys that wants you to fire your coach every year. You know, I'm not that guy. In fact, I'm usually against it. But if I was a betting man, I would say that Dirk Cutter's gone, Jason Light is going to be gone, and ownership is gonna say enough is enough. Like, we're done with this. We're done. It's time to move on. We've given you enough time and resources. I mean, when you look at this team and you look at the firepower that this offense has right now, I mean, you're talking Mike Evans, Deshaun Jackson, Chris Godwin, Adam Humphries, O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate. Come on, man. You give those weapons to Tom Brady and they might be undefeated. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what else to say. But I'm just, I mean, how many years do we have to continually deal with this? You know, at what point do we get somebody that makes the right decisions? And I really was never like against Jason Light, right? I liked him. I thought he was the guy. But I've been wrong before. Trust me. I've been wrong plenty of times in my life. And I was wrong about Jason Light. Something needs to be changed, right? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't have the answers for you. But I can tell you where I work, right? If this many things start backfiring, right? Heads start rolling. And heads are going to start rolling. Okay? The Falcons just won again, which means we're at the bottom of the basement. Last place. And going into this season, living in Charlotte, North Carolina, listening to the local radio guys talk about how the Bucs were going to be in last place and how we were at the basement. And I'm sitting here yelling at the radio saying there's no way, no how, we are not going to be at the bottom of the basement. It's not going to happen. And here we are at the bottom of the basement looking like absolute trash. Start off 2-0 and all we can muster up is one more win after that. In this last stretch, man, come on. Absolutely ridiculous. We got to get it together. It ain't happening. I think, honestly, the team hasn't given up, right? That's obvious because they wouldn't continually keep fighting back in these games if they had given up. But, man. And, oh, man. I don't even know what to say. I'm just frustrated. So, we'll see what happens. Last place. We're going for a draft pick again. Man, I'm out.